Don't fall for the fake paid sellout articles such as Forbes, Variety, and the list continues. As always, hit that subscribe and let's get into it. All right, so look, let's check this out. Variety and Forbes, all of these shield companies are trying to give us false hope so we can look desperate. Variety on April 17, 2025 reported that Ben Affleck hated to suit up and be Batman. On March 13, 2024, Variety chief film critic Owen Gleiberman called Rebel Moon insanely derivative. In other words, unoriginal, copying existing ideas, styles, or work built off spare parts that it may be for Snyder cultists. Forbes, April 26, 2025. Forbes starts shilling about how James Gunn reboot defines DC's future, calling Man of Steel with desaturated colors, somber tone, and questioning of Superman's place in the world unexpected approach at a time when the MCU was more mainstream by being colorful, family-friendly. Approach was better at the box office. Leadership at WB were convinced nobody cared about Superman, and they wanted to get away from all of that. They didn't want that because they thought that nobody was interested, and they didn't want to rush, into no sequels and whatever was going to come to it, including Justice League, the trilogy that we were promised with 1, 2, and 3. But everything changed once we got Zack Snyder's Justice League. That proved them wrong. We see Cavill's Superman in the Frankenstein Justice League, a box office failure, so bad that the mainstream worldwide rejected it. This is what Forbes is saying. This right here tells you everything. And by them saying this, it's clear where they stand at. Because the shilling continues for James Gunn's legacy reborn, calling David Cornsweet's looking every bit worthy successor. James Gunn's Superman has tone and style of Christopher Reeve with a modern take, sense of humor, and bright, colorful inspiration with an awkward persona for Clark. They're estimating that it's going to make 700 to 800 million, calling James Gunn's Superman relief and joy. If Superman flops, the possibility to license DCEU properties to Netflix or Apple for animated movies appealing to fans of the Snyderverse. This article is saying this because they want to poke at those who claim licensing is not possible, trying to give us false hope. Don't fall for it. Why do I say this? Look, upon reading, and you can see the article, I've put the links and stuff like that. These are the highlights of what these shield companies like to do. They like to say one thing, but then they come out with something else. Because again, they want to give us false hope. They want to make us look desperate by them saying, oh, there's still a possibility. Look, I'm telling you right now, everything that they're saying is just speculation. They're just saying that because they want to get clicks. They want people to be reading their articles and stuff like that. And if we continue to believe and fall into the lies of them, it doesn't change. Because it's the same thing like when James Gunn posted the picture with him and Zack Snyder. Some people were like, oh, something's going to happen. Something's going to change. A big announcement, this and that. You got your hopes high. And then what happened? Boom. Nothing came from that. Let's not forget, I've been telling y'all, more lies are going to be made up as we continue to get closer to Superman. The studio is desperate. James Gunn is desperate. David Zaslav and Peter Safran are desperate. So they're going to pay these shield companies to write fake articles to have us, like, oh, wow, there's some type of hope. Let's go out. Let's support it. That's what they want. They want people to go and watch Superman so it doesn't flop. And at the rate that it's going, we know that it's going to tank. By seeing all these updates and all these announcements and things like that. Like I spoke on a live stream. Stop giving them ideas. Because the more you give them ideas, especially free ideas, they're going to go and fix it. And then they're going to come out with something unexpected. Let them tank on their own. we, the fan, the customer, the true consumer, we're going to keep on keeping our wallets closed, and they will remain closed. That's it. You don't want to give us no Snyderverse? We're not going to give you our money. That's it. The studio has to learn and understand that we are not playing around. We mean business. Either you give us the Snyderverse or we don't give you money. Plain and simple. This is why you see these companies, with these fake articles trying to give some type of false hope. And a lot of people are falling for it. Do not fall for the lies. We know that Zach is back at WB. And don't forget, like I've been telling y'all, again, a lot of people keep on sleeping. Come January 2026, WB is doing some type of network with Comcast. Why would they be doing some type of network with Comcast? Comcast, let's just speculate. If Comcast buys out Warner Brothers and is the new parent company, don't you think that Comcast knows the demand that there is for the Snyderverse to get restored? So why would they sell that IP to Netflix? Makes no sense. Why would they sell it to Apple or Amazon? It makes no sense. It makes sense to have them where they are right now. Many people doubted us and said, the Snyderverse, we're never going to get Zack Snyder's Justice League. Let it go and the list continues, right? And what do we have now? The Snyder Cut on physical and digital. We won. We made that happen. Don't come here with excuses and try to justify it. The same way that we won is the same way that we will win again and get the Snyderverse restored at WB under a new company. And that new company could be Comcast. Comcast can buy out WB and eliminate the debt that they have and start new. And with that new route, they can restore the Snyderverse. And they can make much more profit. And they'll be even in the green. They could be up there high. Don't forget, Comcast owns Universal. WB owns HBO Max. Combine those two, you have a powerful force. And don't be surprised if something is happening. And who else is over at Universal? That's right, Christopher Nolan. The same guy that brought Zack Snyder to WB. With that being said, a lot of things can happen. Staying positive, staying hopeful, but not believing the lies of these paid shill companies who just write articles for the heck of it, just because they want a clickbait. As always, hit that subscribe, drop your comments, and until next time.